We're back like umqola for a short break, or from a short break rather. And my friend, you know what? I think that when we start the year, we always think to ourselves, how can we be better? And at the end of January, sometimes we might be maybe, running a little bit low on that fuel to genuinely have a good year. Well, there is a man who is here to do the job of getting you motivated for the rest of the 11 months that await us. I am talking about the good things guy, because you got to get into a good things mindset to really set yourself up for success. And this morning, Brent Lindeke, who is a South African journalist, entrepreneur, motivational speaker. There's nothing he can't do. He's joining us to let us know how we can actually get into that mindset for real, but more than anything else, also celebrating his brand new book. Everybody, let's give him a feel-good welcome, please. Brent, how are you, my darling?
What a vibe. I'm back. I was here last year.
Yes.
And I must say, I think it's a lot of the same crew. So
yeah.
Obviously everybody watching from at home can't see the amazing energy in this room and the amazing crew that are bringing the show together. So it's just great to be here today.
Brent, you're so amazing. Thank you for saying that, because literally sometimes you can't 100% explain it, but in your words...
I feel it.
Exactly.
This is a good thing.
Oh, you are a good thing. Brent, let's start from the beginning. For anyone who might be like tuning into Expresso for the first time and is like, who is this good things guy? Even though that might mean they might be living under a rock. Where did this all begin?
So I'll have you know that it started 11 years ago, almost to the day.
That's incredible.
It was on the last day of January, which is tomorrow.
Wow.
I took part in a very silly online trend called neck nominations. The idea was to drink as much as you possibly could, alcohol, and post those videos up online and nominate people to outdo what you were done. What you've done. It was the first real online trend to take a hold of the world before the ALS Bucket Challenge and all those other things.
Yes.
And I decided instead of drinking, I would rather commit a random act of kindness. And I did it without knowing that anything more would come from that. So I thought maybe I'd inspire one or two of my friends to get involved.
Yeah.
But that was the seed that planted, obviously. So I did it. Random Acts of Kindness movement was born.
Yeah.
Millions of people around the world decided to take those neck nominations that they were getting and change it into a RAC nomination, so Random Acts of Kindness.
Oh, wow.
And that's where the seed was planted to start sharing good news, because I'd never been privy to good news before. So I'd never known that there was good news happening. But while my life was changing, people were getting hold of me to tell me their good news stories, and I had to share them.
And you were changing people's lives, which is the even better part for me. And I think you've done so just by releasing the books that you've released. And of course, today we're celebrating that you've got a brand new book out.
Oh, again.
Again. Here we are again.
I feel like, I said this off air, but I feel like I need to keep writing books.
You
so
better.
you can keep inviting me back.
You better. Because
I better.
honestly, it sends out light into the world. And I think that's why we appreciate you and your page so much.
Thank you.
But let's talk about this, because I feel like, you always just take these beautiful stories, you put them into a book or you put them out on social media. I know that there's always been a story that you've absolutely loved. I want to ask for the most recent one that's just tugged at your heartstrings.
So it's one that came from last year, and I think it's so incredibly important because it really shines a light on mental health. Over the last decade being in this space, one of my biggest lessons, and I've learned many, one of my biggest lessons is that every single human being is hanging on by a thin thread. We have a lot going on. There's a lot we don't speak about. Some of us wear those beautiful Instagram smiles, but underneath it, there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of things that we're dealing with. And last year, there was a woman by the name of Natasha who opened up about her story. It took her 4 years to do so. But she posted this story about an Uber driver that saved her life. And the story goes, so she climbed into an Uber. The Uber his name is Bart. He started driving and he said to her, "Ma'am, how are you?" And she said, "I'm fine." And he looked in the rearview mirror and he went,
You're not fine.
"Ma'am, I can see something's not right. How are you?" And Natasha just started crying. She just started crying. He got out the car as a gentleman. He said, can I open the door? Can I give you a hug? He hugged her. In the post that she shared, she said that moment that this stranger showed her some love, it felt like the weight of the world had been lifted off of her shoulders. And it took her 4 years to retell that story. But when she did, she said that those 3 words, "How are you?" and really meaning them, saved her life, because she was on her way to go do something quite terrible.
Oh, wow.
And today, Natasha is still here. And why I love this story, because social media is fantastic.
Yes.
It took around 24 hours for Bart to see her post.
Really?
And he put up a TikTok video where he just said every time he passed that section where he picked her up, every single time, he just said a little prayer to hope that she was still okay.
I just got goosebumps because that is so beautiful. Like, and this is why I love social media. It connects us. I mean, the fact that your Nick nomination turned into the RAC nomination and has done what it's done. But this is why I also then need to ask you, because I feel like you've taken good things and you've made it into a whole mentality.
Yes.
Let's talk about how we can actually get into that and why it's so important for our mental health to have the good things guy mentality.
Absolutely. So it's the start of the year. I'm sure there's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves. We may have made those New Year's resolutions. It's now the end of January and we're sort of taking stock. Did we, I don't know, go on that diet?
Yes.
Did we get our kilometers in for our walks every day?
No, I didn't.
Did we get enough sun?
No.
I don't know. Like, whatever the New Year's resolutions are, I am going to suggest that we take those resolutions and throw them out the window.
Hectic.
Get rid of them.
Okay.
Instead of resolutions, focus on an intention. So intentions drive us forward without putting so much pressure on us. Right.
Yes.
So we want a diet. Let's change that diet to rather adopting a healthier lifestyle.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, at the end of January, did we make some healthy choices in January? Yes, we did. Tick that box.
I love that.
If your idea is to be a little more successful or to work harder, well, then be that.
Yeah.
Be that intention. This year, I'm going to find a work-life balance.
Love that.
So it starts to become something that we can work towards rather than a pressure that we mount onto ourselves.
Beautiful. Going on a journey, if you will.
Absolutely.
Oh, a good things guy journey. That's what I will say. And thank you so much, Brent. I feel like you make the world a better place. And honestly, in terms of this beautiful book, I'm so excited for South Africa. Not just South Africa, actually, because you're an international darling.
The whole world.
You know what I mean?
Has access to that book.
Exactly.
What's great is it tells 100 good South African stories from last year that can really inspire us, keep us hopeful. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
Those stories are also happening every single day on the website.
Oh, my
so you can go find them there.
goodness.
And I need to add one more thing.
Go ahead.
It's not written by me. It's written by a team of incredible journalists who work for Good Things Guy. They are the backbone of this publication.
Yes.
And I'm thankful for them every single day. Their names are on the front of the book. That's it. I'm
I
really
love
excited
it.
about this.
Well, Brent, congratulations yet again. And thank you so much. You know, even the fact that you're saying to me it's stories from last year, the fact that all 100 are just from last year, that just proves to me that there really is kindness and ubuntu still in South Africa.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. It's Brent Lintigi, the guy who absolutely allows us to see the world in a little bit of a brighter way because he shares all of these beautiful stories that come through. And Mzansi, it's you. There would be no stories if it wasn't for your kindness. So thank you so much for that. And this is the beautiful new book that you can go and check out. And honestly and truly, it is something that will put a smile on your face, but also warm your heart. And more than anything else, Brent Lintigi helping us to become good things, guys and girls, by having the good things mentality. This is what I love about South Africa. We're just so good at everything we do. Listen, Rao, I want to ask you very quickly. Are you feeling like a good things guy this morning, hey?
Yeah, I officially am standing behind all good guys and girls out there in Mzansi. Aye, aye, Captain. I love that.
I love it too, my Rao. Rao, what's going on this morning still right here on our Feel Good Breakfast show?